welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up today, Inspector General of Police meets with state commissioners, other senior officials to re-strategize fight against crime. Kwara State government inspects ongoing road project in Ilorin, the state capital, as residents call for speedy completion. Niger and Kwara State collaborate with Lagos for better productivity for their farmers. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Betokun, is asking senior police officers and strategic commanders of the force to reflect on their shortcomings and re-strategize in order to further ensure a safer and more secure Nigeria. Addressing a meeting of commissioners and senior police officers in the nation's capital, Abuja, the IGP says the force is recording success stories in its fight against insecurity, but there's need for officers and men of the force to step up their game towards securing the lives and properties of Nigerians.
In the last 7 weeks since we had the last conference, the force has attained noteworthy milestones in curtailing crime rates throughout the country. This achievement is attributable to the strategic blend of proactive policing, intelligence-led operations, and community engagements as advocated by the force leadership. During this period, we recorded 35 cases of terrorism/secessionist attacks, 302 cases of murder, 111 cases of armed robbery, 172 cases of kidnapping, 67 cases of banditry, and 15 cases of unlawful possession of firearms. We must also seize this opportunity to reflect upon our shortcomings and obvious gaps in our performance. That will enable us to set the appropriate context for taking necessary and decisive steps towards doing things differently in order to achieve our statutory mandate and responsibilities as outlined above. Following from our last meeting held on the 18th of December 2024, I am pleased to report that substantial progress has been recorded, driven by the implementation of various strategies to address the rising wave of crimes in the country.
As part of efforts to curb the use of illicit drugs, the Nigerian Navy ship Lugard, Lokoja, has arrested 2 suspects with 455 kilograms of substance suspected to be Indian hemp in Kogi State. While parading them at the naval base in Lokoja, the state capital, the commander NNS Lugard, Lokoja, Commodore Ugochukwu Ajulu, said the 2 suspects were caught with the substance in a car while conveying it from Edo to somewhere in Area 1, Agalki, Abuja, for commercial purposes. He urged all security checkpoints in the state to be cautious of people moving illegal substances to other locations across the country.
Abdullah, are you part of them? Oh, you are watching them. That is one them like this. It is that.
A retired corporal and his friend caught with 455 kilograms of cannabis sativa on their way to Abuja to deliver the vehicle to another friend in Suleja, Abuja, are now in custody of the Nigerian Navy. They were apprehended at a Navy checkpoint in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. Even though he is no longer in service, military identification cards were found on the suspects. Other items recovered include money, phones, ATM cards, and the Honda car they were traveling in. Commander of the Nigerian Navy ship Lugard inspects the recovered items before handing them over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for further investigation and prosecution. One of the suspects, the retired corporal, last served at the 29th Battalion of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and may face a prison term of not less than 5 years if found guilty. Commander Nigerian Navy ship Lugard, Ugochukwu Ajulu, speaks more on the arrest.
The officers we have at the checkpoints have been actually briefed properly on how to check every vehicle passing through Kogi State. all our checkpoints now we are checking, and you can see the results. It is very, very evident, and as we can see in the country, young people are being provided the opportunity to engage in businesses, vocational training, and other works that will improve them. There's no excuse, actually, to go into this kind of business.
The former military personnel insists he did not know drugs were part of the items to be delivered.
It was on Friday, me and this guy were a friend. And I told him, as I come, things is not working well again. Some of my children have been dig ground to pay school fees for them, no problem, no money. He just said we should go just and hustle. Then we came out for this hustle. That he came out, this is the first trip that we go. I don't know that, yes, this is what we want to carry. And so on the way coming back, then we met all these Navy checking points. They stopped us. We talked with them. Open the boot, they open the boot. That's where we got to the arrest, sir. This is the first time that I come out. I never do it, sir.
NDLEA promises that the suspects will be investigated thoroughly.
Suspects will be investigated and they will be charged to court accordingly after the investigation has been completed for further prosecution.
The Navy promises that the command will ensure that all vehicles going through the checkpoint in Kogi State are properly scrutinized to stop the flow of illicit drugs and curb other cross-border crime.
A 4-story shopping mall under construction in the terminus area of Jos, the Plateau State capital, is to be demolished by the state government for non-compliance with building standards. A team of building professionals and officials from the State Ministry of Housing and Urban Development visited the construction site and discovered that there was no approval plans from relevant authorities and substandard materials were used for the edifice.
The Plateau State government, in its quest to ensure the safety of lives and property and ensure that buildings meet construction standards according to specifications, has identified a building in the terminus area of Jos that does not meet the required standard for a shopping mall. The shopping complex has 180 shops and has been under construction for almost a year with no approval from the Jos Metropolitan Development Board. Following the collapse of a part of the building, officials from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, alongside the Jos Metropolitan Development Board and members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, examined the extent of the damage and discovered the substandard materials and lack of infrastructure at the construction site.
We have been to this site severally over 5 times. We have issued stop work orders. We had even issued demolition notice for work to stop, but they were persistent and refused to stop. We had told them the quality of the job being done here cannot be ascertained and we cannot approve of it. And it's important to put to note that this whole structure you're seeing here has no approval.
As a government that is responsible for the people of Plateau State, we won't take for granted the life of our people. This building has been affected, and right from day one we're aware of this building. And besides, the approval of this building, you can't find it in the file as an officially.
The state government certified the building as unsafe and ordered the sealing of the site.
When we came on site this morning, it's so disheartening to note that the columns is something to really worry. Just like the GM said, if you put people on this site and you put people on this platform, for goodness sake, lives will definitely go.
Construction works have been put on hold pending the conclusion of the paperwork and the use of standard materials to avert any disaster.
Same with infrastructure. Residents in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, are calling on the government to open the new Tunde Diabon flyover to ease their movement as the delay is affecting them. During an inspection tour of some ongoing projects, the Commissioner for Works assured residents that the project is 99% completed and will soon be open.
The Commissioner for Works in Kwara State, Abdulkawi Olododo, leads a team of officials to inspect road projects being executed by the state government. Projects under construction include the Abdulaziz Atta Road, the Tunde Diagbon flyover, and the 4-kilometer-long Yebumot Adeta Oloje dual carriageway, all in Ilorin in the state capital, most of them halfway done and expected to be delivered by March.
We have gone far because we have done many things there. The base, everything have been doing there. We have excavated everything, compaction, base for base, everything have been done there. The level of percentage is 55 now. So we are leaving this work, inshallah, by end of this March.
One of the major projects is the Tunde Diagbon flyover along the University of Ilorin Road, which has been a subject of discussion following the delay in its completion.
It's taking too long. In fact, we've been expecting that the bridge will be opened so that it will be of more benefit. So we, especially we that has been waiting for the bridge to be opened, that we stay around here. And again, my store is just not far to the bridge. In fact, opposite the bridge. So we're actually begging the state government to help us quickly finish the project. We definitely appreciate the effort of the governor, but then we are still expecting, or we are appealing that he helps us sustain the projects.
The Commissioner for Works says the project is 99% completed and will be open to the public soon with an improved aesthetic outlook.
This is the third project that we are visiting today. We started off at the Adeta to Oloje work, where we saw the pace at which the contractor is working. The laying of the stone base is currently ongoing. The final cover on the road is also ongoing. And like they mentioned at the site, for the culvert to be fully cured, we need about 21 to 28 days, and upon which full road work is going to commence. I think the level of work is satisfactory. The things that we needed to note has been pointed out to the contractor, which is to really work on the compaction of the stone base at that road.
For residents and business owners in Tanke, the opening of the side roads is a huge relief after they endured the discomfort that accompanied the delay in the completion period.
The Nasarawa State Governor, Mr. Abdullahi Sule, is seeking a collaboration with the federal government in the area of agriculture and food security. Governor Sule made this known when he visited the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Abubakar Kyari, in Abuja. He noted that his administration will key into the programs of the ministry to boost agricultural production in Nasarawa State and the country at large.
The initiative of creating a ministry now that is not just Ministry of Agriculture, but also having food security attached to it. The essence of emphasizing food security means a lot, and I'm happy listening to all the introduction of your various directors, and I see the sincerity in this food security in the minds of the president. And there is no better appointment than to bring in people who are competent, who are qualified, who are true and genuine loyalists of the administration. Indeed, as far as food security and agriculture is concerned, I have no doubt Mr. President will succeed in this agenda. Nasarawa State has been known, in the area of agriculture. We believe that we can buy in and participate, in everything that this ministry is doing, and is doing it well. Right now, as far as this aspect of how much land do we need, what land do we need, where do we need the land, we came in with that intention that we are ready, to discuss and just blow it right now on the system and say that how much land do we need in order to participate with the federal government, and we are willing to just provide that land so that we can go ahead with it, because that's the type of visit that we are going.
On his part, Mr. Kyari said the visit by Governor Sule demonstrates the collaboration that the ministry seeks to achieve between the federal and state governments to significantly boost food production in the country.
We are indeed excited about the enthusiastic response of the state governments to our letter calling for the expression of interest in the second phase of the 2023-2024 dry season farming. It is our firm belief that the synergy between the tiers of government will more readily assure positive outcomes in our quest for improved agricultural production. We equally be delighted if Your Excellency emerged as a formidable champion of mechanization in our agricultural production. As we are about to get into the planting period, there is little question that in the absence of mechanization by way of combined harvesters, we can scarcely mitigate the aggregate post-harvest losses arising from the current manual methods of harvesting. Let me once again thank Your Excellency for finding time to be here to interact with us in seeking more productive pathways to boosting food security, which is cardinal priority administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Welcome back. The Niger and Kwara state governments have signed a partnership program with Lagos to bridge the food supply demand gaps under the Produce for Lagos initiative. Speaking at the event in Alausa Ikeja, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Abisola Olusonya, says the initiative is to support local farmers and boost food production in large quantities that will meet the demands of not just the people in Lagos, but other states as well.
We have to grow more food. It is at the local government and state level.
That message from President Bola Tinubu in specific terms on more attention to agricultural production across the state has brought about this meeting in Lagos to give impetus to the President's executive order on food production. Lagos, Niger and Kwara states are taking a bold step towards improving food supply across the states. The three states are in agreement to cultivate about 500,000 hectares of farmland for the 2024 dry season farming and will be supported by the federal government.
You have rice, like I said, over 1 million tons. We are producing very minimal, but we have the largest mill, so we need partners. So we need Kwara, we need Niger, we need states in Nigeria across board. But I feel that with what we know that our president is gunning toward, which is to ensure food security, the three states, coming together, we will be charting the course in setting the tone that indeed we are serious about what Mr. President wants to do, and we are taking the lead in ensuring that this collaboration happens and the dream of a food secure Nigeria also happens.
Targeted value chains produced for cultivation under the 2023-2024 dry season are wheat, 123,000 hectares, rice, 150,000 hectares, maize, 30,000 hectares, and cassava, 20,000 hectares. Lagos State Government is well prepared for the task ahead, particularly with the upcoming food logistics hub, the already existing middle-level agro-food hub in Mushin, amongst others. It's a welcome idea for the Kwara State Government, who believe the initiative will empower the farmers to produce more.
This is beyond exchange of goods. It's bridging gaps. It's about building communities, empowering our farmers. And it's about also ensuring that there is food security. So we are happy to key into this, to be able to help feed Kwarans first, before we then feed Lagos and the entire nation.
For the Niger State Government, the move will go a long way towards transforming the agricultural strategy of the state.
Anything you throw in Niger State grows. So what product, are we going to bring, to Lagos State? So this relationship that we have just started, for me, is a very exciting one. It's also challenging, yes, because we have to make it work. And like you said, it's not rocket science. In the next 6 months, Nigerians should begin to see the relationship between Kwara, Niger, and Lagos State. And I believe that once this thing is going smoothly, before you know it, other states will fall within.
Currently, Lagos boasts of 20% food production and targets 40% self-sufficiency in the next coming years. The government is hoping to unveil the phase 1 of the food logistic hub in Ekpe by December to reduce post-harvest losses.
We have a hub, and that is just one. We are building 3 more. So making 4, and then we still have several others. So in terms of assurance of when this kickoff would happen, it is going to happen at least, I'm looking at by 3rd quarter of this year, because even the logistics hub, phase 1 of the logistics hub is supposed to be due for commissioning in December of 2024.
The partnership is kicking off with 3 states. 17 other states will be joining the drive to increase food production in Lagos and the country at large.
Staying with agriculture, the Benue state government has called on farmers to maximize over 40 million naira dry season farm inputs and solar-powered irrigation machines to improve food cultivation. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Professor Moses Agbaji, made the call during the flag-off of the 2024 International Funds for Agriculture Development Dry Season Farming, where seeds, fertilizer, and solar-powered irrigation pumping machines were distributed to 100 farmers.
Program coordinator for the IFA.
Improved rice seeds like Faro 40, NPK fertilizers, and solar-powered irrigation pumping machines for dry season farming are some of the key inputs ready for distribution to 100 Benue farmers. The International Funds for Agriculture Development, through its Value Chain Development Program, in partnership with the Benue State Government, wants to see all year-round farming activities.
In order to improve livelihood of smallholder farmers, we are promoting dry season farming, encouraging farmers to cultivate more than 1 cycle in a year. The increase in yield for dry season farming has been remarkable, based on the testimony from our farmers.
The Commissioner for Agriculture tasked farmers to utilize the inputs.
Please collect these inputs. Please do not sell them. Try and farm and see the benefits of farming.
Assuming government of internal supervision mechanism, the farmers and the state and program coordinator make a case for security support to ensure full activities at their farms.
These inputs will be judiciously utilized. All we are also seeking is that you should now provide us with more security at sites where we'll be carrying out this dry season farming. Because we thought peace has come, but something else is happening in Agatu. But we are with the hope that by the time wet season period comes, everything will now be okay.
We are sincerely appealing for further government intervention towards timely return of our farmers who are currently in IDP camps to their ancestral homes, so that they can also benefit from this program in subsequent periods. Furthermore, I extend my gratitude to the National Program Coordinator for her unwavering support towards achieving our milestones in the state.
For many years, Benue, as the food basket of the nation, could hardly feed itself due to the insecurity that raised food inflation to 32%. But things are beginning to look good with the relative peace attained recently.
Finally, on the program, the federal government is seeking a public-private partnership, PPP, to address the funding gaps in the National School Feeding Program. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on School Feeding Program, Mrs. Yetunde Adeniji, disclosed this at the stakeholders meeting in the nation's capital, Abuja. The federal government says the partnership will provide a pool of resources needed to make the program work.
It is crucial to acknowledge the importance of school feeding program in Africa. These initiatives have a significant impact on the educational, nutritional, and overall development of children across the continent. However, implementing and sustaining these programs can be quite challenging due to financial constraints and resource limitations. That is why this meeting is of utmost importance. We have brought together stakeholders from various sectors, including government, private businesses, non-profit organizations, and financial institutions. This is through our collective efforts and collaborations that we can find innovative solutions to address these fundamental gaps. Leveraging on investment and ensuring sustainability and scalability for the school feeding program in Nigeria and in Africa at large. Today, we are here to explore the potentials of the public-private partnership and viable solutions. This provides a unique opportunity for government, private entities, and other stakeholders to come together, pool resources, and create a sustainable model for school feeding program.
That's the program today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.